I would say the highest priority is an overall quality of life. I mean, we hear that from citizens, and I think that encompasses, well, a lot of areas, but three primarily, and that's jobs and being able to provide for their family, recreation, good opportunities to recreate and enjoy the community, as well as public safety. They want to be obviously safe in their community. And so I'd say the biggest challenge to that right now is in the area of the drug epidemic that we're seeing really nationwide.
I think one of the biggest projects in our community is going to reshape our entire waterfront. So, the ferry terminal is in the midst of the development and moving about a third of a mile down the waterfront, and we've got a really unique and amazing opportunity to have a lot of redevelopment all around that. So new connections to the Sounder platform and to other transit that comes down to the waterfront, and new beach access, new parks.
One of those big obstacles is that we have 50% of our population leaving our community every day to get work, meaningful work in the outside area, and so those folks are not shopping in Darrington. When they get home at night, they're not participating in community events, child events, elementary, grade school, middle school, sports, drama, art activities. Those people are, they come home, they get dinner on the table, and they watch TV for 20 minutes and go to bed.
So the biggest issue that we have right now in Linwood is the expected growth. And the growth is happening because of Linwood Link, the light rail system coming into Linwood and opening in 2023.
The thing that I've been spending a lot of time on now trying to think about is some of the projections for growth that's going to take place in the state. We know that there's going to be, at least by projections by the state, in 2040, the 7 million-ish people we have now will be up to 9 million people. We know that currently in the Puget Sound area, that is Kitsap, King, Pierce, and Snohomish County, we have about 3.8 million people. That's projected to grow to over 5 million by 2035. 20 years seems like a long ways away, but if you're really going to plan for whatever impact your community is going to have, you need to be thinking about it and planning for it now.
The number one priority for the city of Snohomish, I think, really has to do with quality of life and balancing, preserving our history and our character with promoting our vitality. And those are actually two goals that have been laid out in our strategic planning, is preserving our history, our character, and promoting our vitality, and finding the balance there between those two, bringing new businesses, new people to town at the same time that we really honor the history and keep things in some ways the same. So both staying stable and moving forward.
Well, I think first we've got to meet all the needs of our current residents and people who are part of our Linwood community, but then we've got to make sure that we're preparing for our future residents and our citizens in our community. And we have a really exciting future with the diversity of our changing demographics. And it's not just changing demographics ethnically, but it's changing demographics with age. We're building over 1,600 apartment units right now in Linwood. So we're imagining that younger people will come and live in Linwood, those who are going to the university, those who are actually working downtown but can't afford to live there anymore. Right now we have a pretty equal rental and homeowner demographic, but with adding all of the apartments in our housing stock now, that's going to really change that dynamic too.
We don't have a lot of big box stores. In fact, we don't have any big box stores. We don't have any shopping malls. We have to think creatively on how we can generate the revenue to accommodate the current feeling of lifestyle satisfaction that I think the community has. We have a strong community, and the business communities are thriving, but we need to think ahead without the big generators, big boxes and shopping malls. How is it that we're going to sustain the revenue stream that we need to satisfy, I think, the very fairly satisfied community that we have as far as the quality of life that we have.
I think, it's a tough balance because you're looking at a scenario where people are using drugs and they're stealing money to get those drugs. You also have the homeless piece of it.
We're a little partner with a lot of big agencies, and so maintaining those relationships and kind of, I guess, making sure that we're kind of defending and representing our community as that happens. So they're all public agencies too that represent our residents as well, but we have kind of a unique perspective on what's best for Mukilteo.
When it comes to obstacles, the biggest is probably trust. Trust of who you're going to bring in as partnerships from the outside world, other government agencies, other corporations, other things, and the trust for those. There's interior trust, that you really have to develop. You have to have successes, and you have to have the trust of your community to be able to move forward.